Hello friends, welcome to my channel. I am Casey and today I'm going to be talking about being mixed and being a minority. So in case you don't know, I am mixed, white on my mom's side, black on my dad's side. So I'm half and half, black and white. So my mom being the majority and my dad being a minority. But in terms of how I'm feeling or how I feel, I'm talking about being mixed as being its own minority. So I have always thought that like being mixed makes you even more of a minority, even though you're a part of two larger like cultures or like races, you know, being mixed is its own thing. So anyways, I feel like today, in today's climate, with Black Lives Matter and racial inequality, like being a mixed person can be kind of weird or like isolating because even though like your views are clear and I have clear views about how I feel, like I support Black Lives Matter and I'm for racial equality. Obviously, like I think everybody should be treated the same. Everybody should be treated equal, no matter your color, gender, race, whatever, political views, all that. I see everybody the same and I wish that everybody could be treated the same. That's not the facts though, okay? So that is not what's unclear, but being a part of both of the two parties that are having conflicts right now can be confusing and can be isolating because my husband, for example, wants my opinion on police brutality and Black Lives Matter and how I'm feeling about all this stuff going on. And honestly, it's not that I don't have an opinion, but I don't experience those things being mixed, you know? So do I identify myself as being black? Yes, but I am only half black, you know? And not only, not just like, oh, that's like to make it a small thing, but I'm not going to ever really or haven't had to deal with the things that black people have to deal with. If I get pulled over by the police, I'm not going to be treated the same way a black person would, you know? So not to feel like I don't think that I can voice my opinion, but I don't feel like I need to because I don't deal with those things as a black person. That's not to say white people can't share their opinions on Black Lives Matter. They can, and they do, and I'm fine with that. I'm not saying like, oh, just because I'm only half black, I'm not gonna say anything. I still support Black Lives Matter, but do I feel like it's something that's affecting me? No, it's not, because I'm light-skinned. People sometimes, I mean, a lot of the time don't even know that I'm black, you know, like, it's another video, another topic, but like, it's always like, what are you, you know? So like, yes, it's, I think apparent that I'm mixed with something, but it's not like, oh yeah, that's a black woman, you know, like, so I don't deal with those things, you know? So yeah, I got notes just to make sure I like hit all the things. So, yeah, I don't deal with those things. I've never had to deal with direct, like, racism, you know, or racial inequality. Like, yes, there's been, like, whispers or, like, people look at me a certain way, but I've never had any sort of, like, direct confrontation because of the way that I look or because being black and white, you know? At least not to the point that it, like, dramatically affected my life or I was, like, scarred by the situation, you know? So I don't feel like I've ever had to deal with racism, and I'm totally I'm grateful for that, you know? Like, I don't take that for granted. So I think it's unfair and it's upsetting that, you know, just because of the color of your skin, you're treated differently, you know? And maybe I feel that more than white people do because I am black and I don't have to deal with those things. So it's unfair, you know? Like, I sympathize because that is a part of my race and like my dad and his family, and I don't have to deal with those things. So yeah. What else do I have to say here? In general, I think like, well, like I just said, oh, I didn't say this, but I think that like, you're being mixed, you're more easily accepted. And that statement's kind of hard to say because it's like, it can go either way. Like, you're more easily accepted in the fact that, like, you know, you don't look black. So it's like, oh, she's just kind of like floating in that in-between space, you know? But that also goes on to the negative side, like, you're not really a part of it either, you know? Like, for the most part, if I had to describe like what being mixed is like, it's kind of like isolating, you know? Like, it has its benefits. Like I just said, I've never had to deal with racism, racial inequality, that sort of thing. But also, like, I've never been like part of like, oh, this is my culture, you know, because it's only half. And to me anyways, I'm not gonna voice every mixed person's opinion, and I'm not like saying this is how every mixed person feels. These are my feelings, my opinions. So everybody's experience is different. But for me, it's like always living on the outside. So I have a sister, luckily, and we don't really talk about like being mixed a lot, because it's just something that you are, you know. It's not like, I don't feel like white people like just talk about being white, you know, but yeah, you are not part of either group. So I grew up in a family that was very loving, you know, like, I'm close with my parents, I'm close with my family, I'm closer with my dad's family than my mom's family, but I still always knew that, you know, like, even though they loved me, and it could be more me than them, like, I was never like one of their own, you know. Even like, I've had black friends, I've had white friends, Mexican friends, whatever, lots of friends. But even with my black friends, like, it wasn't like, oh, you're one of us, you know. We were friends, just like I was if I was a friend with a different race, you know. Like, we're still friends, we love each other, we respect each other, but you are not part of like the inner circle, you know, like the inside jokes or that sort of thing. And not literal jokes, I just mean like, you know, when you're like like, if you have a group of friends and you guys had inside jokes, like that sort of thing, like, that's what I mean. So yeah, it's complicated is what I would say, you know. But yeah, I feel like you're just your own breed, you're on your own island by yourself, and even if you're with other mixed people, you guys didn't have the same experience. You don't have the same experience. You know, mixed people aren't all like, oh, well, maybe if you just get with other mixed people, you guys will feel similar. But I don't think you do, because every mixed person has a different upbringing, just like all people are different. Everybody's their own individual. But I mean, like, I feel like, okay, I'm going to take that back a little bit. I feel like mixed people can relate to each other because we probably do have similar experiences. Like, people always asking us, what are you? Like, people saying, oh, I love your hair, or, you know, something. Hair is a big issue with mixed people. You know, that sort of thing. Like, so we could relate on those subjects, but as far as like, maybe a mixed person grew up in an all black family and they just see themselves as black and they're accepted as black and they don't really identify with the other side, or vice versa, you know, like, it depends on how you were raised, how your parents are, that sort of thing is what I mean by saying like, we're even mixed people, like, maybe don't identify with each other. So yeah, I hope that, you know, sheds some light on being mixed, opens your eyes, or gives you a different perspective on mixed people. I would love to know your guys' opinions, or what you guys think if you're mixed, or if you're just one or the other and you never thought about these things before. Leave questions or comments down below and I'm going to try to get to them. Sorry, I'm also going to be answering, I know, like, I made videos like long ago and I'm like coming back. So I'm going to try and answer some of like questions and comments on old posts. So that's all. Thanks for watching. Subscribe. All the info's down below, social medias and such like that. And I will see you guys later. Ka-chow.